Because in Cameroon, the mentalities of youth have not yet changed. We have three types of mentality, if you permit. We have the magical mentality, we have colonial mentality, and we have tribal mentalities. When people are placed where they are not because they come from my same village, put somebody, go back to your quartier, somebody, the storekeeper, the shopkeeper there, if he puts his brother because advanced level and is not competent, and somebody buys an article of 500 and he reimburses the person 95, 2-3 days the store will fail. That is an example. So our mentality need to change. Youths are engaged into alcohol, engaged into drugs. Remember, as of 2013, 6,000 bars in Yaoundé, 6,000 bars. And 600 million liters of beer consumed in Cameroon, which is equivalent to River Sanaga. Those are the kind of mentality. And the colonial mentality too, we are colonized. You know, it should not come from my mouth. We are colonized from our ancient colony, where we are struggling to adjust things. So that is what...
Years I've been expecting to see something concrete on the field.
Began by saying that it's an abstract concept, which means that it has already been implementalized in the past years, but that it is coming already to maturity. It was still at the level of, at the introductory stage. I want to tell Bless that maybe he would like to know some of the areas that will be decentralized. Yes. You know that in the reign of Minister Saji, yes, 21 administrative units has already been decentralized. Some are ongoing now. Here we have Kwakwa, Kulufata, Ebomzu, Ndongelang, we have Tumba, Kakazo. In Edeya, we have Keiti, we have Menduru, we have places like Furawa. So roads, infrastructure, electricity, pipe-borne water, hospitals and schools have already started in this area, in these administrative areas, and then 63 competencies have already been reinforced. So these statistics I'm giving, you might not be d'accord with me, but the issue is that Cameroonians are not awake.
But Mr. Chuo, my problem is that we would get to that level where a municipal authority sits in his municipality, looks at the problems, the challenges of the municipality, create employment for the youth, take initiative to build roads, construct schools, classrooms, without necessarily writing letters, sending to Yaoundé, waiting for the ministers. For how many years, I don't know. Are we going to get to that level?
Yes, we'll get to it. Thank you very much. I was waiting for that question because in the beginning of the program, I told you that decentralization is divided into so many concepts which people are not understanding. There is what we call physical decentralization. In fiscal with C, not fiscal with PH. Yeah. Fiscal decentralization is coming from fiscal policy, which means that the mayor has to develop strategies to do what? To raise funds so as to fund projects, even go into engagement into foreign NGOs, like the case of McCann that we engaged into one NGO in the US, and today we are benefiting from that NGO. So it is fiscal decentralization that has to provoke this decentralization to raise funds, raise revenue, finance their project, because the government still have the financial autonomy, but some responsibility have to be transferred now to local areas. That is a delegation. Powers have been delegated to the GO, who can be the board chair for the council and so on. So we are still in deconcentration, decentralization. Then decongestion that I'm adding to this fiscal policy. When power is organized in the internal government, that is centralized in Yaoundé and not going to Bamenda. That's why we have concentration, centralization, concentration. Then now should be what? Deconcentrated, decentralized. And the reason is that the government cannot do all, my brother. A state is you and me. A state is a moral person having a public right or public law. That is a state. It's you and me. It's not only the president or the minister, the delegate, the division officers and the rest. It is you and me.
But when power is being centralized, held, and they are not willing to relinquish power, that's where the problem is.
That's where the problem. That is why we had a
because
seminar.
We are taking the practical case of Cameroon.
Yes.
What we are going through.
I assisted in a seminar on the 27th and 28th of August 2013 in Yaoundé. It was organized by Pan-African Institute for Development, and the theme of that seminar was the stakes and the perspective of decentralization. The two-day workshop that we went through, we resumed into what the local authorities that are elected or appointed should have techniques and financial follow-up so as to develop their areas.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, I just want to say that, well, I appreciate Walter's level of mastery of the subject. It clearly shows that he has a lot of information about the current process.
Hypothesis that some people raise that most government officials set a lot of blockages to this process to be fully implemented because they fear losing their powers that they enjoy while in Yaoundé, most of the ministers.
Yes, that's correct. That is why I spoke about corruption, that corrupted officials are not where they were supposed to. Can you imagine that we have a situation presently in one of the state universities where somebody who is an assistant lecturer without a PhD and is sent to an institution, a state institution, as head of department, but in his home university he's an assistant without a PhD and he has been appointed to 2 different departments. That is somebody, I can be a historian and I go to physics department. That's the issue, because we really need to be awake and be informed. The reason is that people don't want to work with the government. People don't want to give good information. And so since people are not where they are, we'll continuously being where we are. But I know that we are doing what they call a dance bafia. Vangpa amnaria ampa devang de onavance quand même. One day we'll get to it.
At the moment, what will you probably advise the government to do if you were asked that how can the government go about accelerating this process?
Good. I will advise the government to use a scientific method of solving decentralization. My scientific method is the Nash equilibrium. Okay. The Nash equilibrium here has 2 parameters. We have the principal decentralization and we have the political decentralization. So the principal decentralization should be that the texts that are written at the Ministry of Public Service, which are adopted at the level of the assemblies and the Senate, should properly, and the President should closely create an ad hoc committee to monitor that people fully implement these principles so that people should do what the President wants. And secondly, the political decentralization. I give my words of congratulations to the Senate and the National Assembly for the work they are doing in this country, and that they should closely work with Babali, Abdoulaye Babali, the President of Elections Cameroon, to see that the political decentralization is 100% achieved, and there your sister or your brother will not more come and stay there for 1 week, and at 1 week people will corrupt him and he will not even have his grow loan, and people will solve their problems at their local level without coming to Yaoundé.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming. You said something regarding the Senate, and next week we are going to be talking about the Senate, and we are going to be examining the 5 years mandate of the first Senate in Cameroon, their balance sheet. We are going to be examining it to see what they have really brought in the democratic process of Cameroon. That's going to be the focus of next week. Thank you, Abong Bless, for coming, and equally thank you very much, Chuo, for making it to the program this evening. And we thank all those who took their time to watch.